Grand Rising spiritual honeys. I hope everybody's doing okay. And um, I'm going to start with reading the word. And yeah, let's see how that goes. I'll be reading from Ecclesiastes 3. And I'm a chapters girl. So yeah, let's go. A time for everything. Everything that happens in this world happens at the time God chooses. He sets the time for birth and the time for death, the time for planting and the time for pulling up, the time for killing and the time for healing, the time for tearing down and the time for building. He sets the time for sorrow and the time for joy, the time for mourning and the time for dancing, the time for making love and the time for not making love, the time for kissing and the time for not kissing. He sets the time for finding and the time for losing, the time for saving and the time for throwing away, the time for tearing and the time for mending, the time for silence and the time for talk. He sets the time for love and the time for hate, the time for peace and the time for war. I chose peace first. What do we gain from all our work? I know the heavy burdens that God has laid on us. He sets the right time for everything. He's given us a desire to know the future, but never gives us the satisfaction of fully understanding what He does. So I realize that all we can do is be happy and the best we can, and do the best we can while we're still alive. All of us should eat and drink and enjoy what we've worked for. It is God's gift. I know that everything God does will last forever. You can't add anything to it or take away anything from it. And one thing that God does is make us stand in awe of Him. Whatever happens or can happen has already happened before. God makes the same thing happen again and again. 0220 on the clock. Um, I didn't meditate today. Let's start by saying that. So I just thought I should just come on here because there's this rush happening today. Like rush. When I woke up this morning, I realized how what's with the slow water? Hey, I start stacking up. I start collecting water, putting water in buckets, just so that just in case. Um, but yeah, the water's back, and now I'm like, okay. One thing that I love about the Most High is just how He wakes me up in the morning to see, you know, different types of potentials that could happen, you know, throughout the day, and I stay away. I stay aware. Now, I wanted to speak about what I would stay away from. However, I just remembered my ordering system. So I stay aware of myself. I take full accountability for everything. I take responsibility for everything happening around me. If it is happening to me, then clearly it is happening for me. You know? There is a time for everything. However, are you moving within divine timing? Just so that you can, stay above the water, find opportunities within the obstacles that, come before you. 434. Okay. This is my time of creation. This is my time to create. This is my time to relate. This is also my time to report. It is the year of completion. So I don't know how some people would expect me to show up on here, you know? 5'11". I just love how my numbers are a little random today. I figure some people are concerned about what might be happening up there. But you worked so hard, to build, this picture, you know, of a certain person. Let me not just make it about me. 555 on the clock. Okay? Let me switch it up. You worked so hard to so called destroy someone's reputation. I want you to keep it there. You know? I didn't come here to, try prove anyone wrong about anything. Yona sharp leave me out of it because you didn't take the time out, to gather information, fact check shit with me more than anything before you started talking, right? Before you started sharing, before you started doing spell work, spelling shit out. You worked so hard. I want you to keep it. Why would I want to destroy what you've built for yourself? Now, that is your wealth. Because I've spent the last, since 2022, I've spent all this time affirming myself. I've been doing the work. I've been making, bomb ass suggestions about myself. I wrote this shit down. I knew that I'll be here doing this. This is my crown. But I worked in silence. I worked in the shadows. That is where you left me. What did you expect me to do? Because when I was in the spotlight and I was shining, you still tried to bring a girl down. So don't worry, Cinderella worked in the back. But this is not one of those quick, fast, in a hurry type of situations where I gotta be worried about midnight. That's your problem, not mine. I sleep like a baby and I know that the Most High got me. Yeah, I'd like to welcome my audience. Yeah, they chirping there in the background. Yeah. Grand rising. I pray that as the sun has risen in the sky, that it rises within you too. Just tap into my frequency. Because I know that most things that I've been through, you've at least had like half. I swear, like we just get it more. And then we have NPCs in our reality that make it seem like there is something wrong with me. But the truth is, you are a non participating character within this reality. So, hell yeah, shit will be easy for you. And yes, I will say non participating character because, yes, you find yourself participating in things that weren't called for you. What are you really doing? Do you even know what you're doing here? 10:10 on the clock. Shut it down. Do you know what you're doing here? Do you know what you came here for? Are you still looking for your purpose, or are you like me, you living your life on fucking purpose? Sorry, I didn't meditate. Let's go. Got a brick behind me. I told you I'm building, but some shit just happens randomly. Okay. So I got out the room today. Get out the box. Stop hiding yourself. 11:11 on the clock. Begin to speak life into yourself. Remember that your word is your wand, and that you were brought into this reality to co-create with God and the universe. Know thyself. Remember that everything is vibration. Just know that everything is moving. Nothing stands still. 11:44. Remember the laws of gender. Everything moves within divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy, right? Masculine transmitter, feminine receiver. You're reaping what you're sowing, and you're sowing what you're reaping. Nothing stays the same, but yet nothing is new under the sun, baby. Like, I'm starting to remember, but I'm remembering what I'm becoming. 1, 2, 3, 4. The ladder. Let's get lifted. I am remembering what I am becoming. Not remembering who I once was. No, I'm remembering who I am becoming. I'm living out my memories in real time. And just like the sun has come out today, I've come out to shine too. I'm showing up. 13:13 on the clock. This is my freestyle. This is me exercising my birthright. I was given free will. I'm not led by determinism. It's not hot or cold for me. There is always an in between, because greater is he who lives within me than he is in the world, and I call upon strength when I am weak, and I receive just that. There is a time for everything. This is my time now. I and I. It is our time now. So much shit going on. And I remember. Bye! School time. School time. Is that what we're talking about? Taking y'all back to school. Okay? You're never too cool for school, Do the things while you are given, the chance to. 14:44 on the clock. And it's 7:11 right now. Phoenix is rising. Those are my numbers. July the 11th. My solar return. Oh. Jeremiah 31. Let's talk about the future prosperity of God's people. I love that for you. The Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says, when I restore the people to their land, they will once again say in the land of Judah and in its towns, may the Lord bless the sacred hill of Jerusalem, the holy place where he lives. People will live in Judah and in all its towns, and there will be farmers and shepherds with their flocks. I will refresh those who are weary and will satisfy with food everyone who is weak from hunger. So then people will say, I went to sleep and woke up refreshed. I, the Lord, say that the time is coming when I will fill the land of Israel and Judah with people and animals, and just as I took care to uproot, to pull it down, to overthrow, to destroy, and to demolish them, I will take care to plant them and to build them up. When that time comes, people will no longer say, the parents ate the sour grapes, but the children got the sour taste. Yeah. Pause. Instead, all those who eat sour grapes will have their own teeth set on edge, and they will all die because of their own sin. The Lord says the time is coming when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. It will not be like the old covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand and led them out of Egypt. Although I was like a husband to them, they did not keep that covenant. The new covenant that I will make with the people of Israel will be like this. I will put my law within them and write it in their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. None of them will have to teach his fellow citizen to know the Lord, because all will know me, from the least to the greatest. I will forgive their sins, and I will no longer remember their wrongs. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord provides sunlight by day and moon and the stars shine at night. He stirs up the sea and makes it roar. His name is the Lord Almighty. He promises that as long as the natural order lasts, so long will Israel be a nation. If one day the sky could be measured and the foundations of the earth explored, only then would he reject the people of Israel, because because of all they've done. Guys, the Lord has spoken. The time is coming, says the Lord, when all Jerusalem will be rebuilt, as my city from Hananel, Tower West, to the corner gate, and the boundary line will continue there, on the west to the hill of Gareb, and then round to Goa. The entire valley where the dead are buried and refuse is thrown, and all the fields above the brook of Kidron, as far as the horse gate to the east, will be sacred to me. The city will never again be torn down or destroyed. Sorry, I'm tripping as I'm reading. I'm tripping as I'm reading. And maybe I should read it again. But before I do that, I got a couple of downloads, or confirmations or synchronicities, because we're talking about time, right? Coinky dinky. I think not. Nothing is a coincidence. Past, present, and future, everything is moving within flow. Everything is moving within the flow of life. Okay. Now, God said there is a time for everything. But, the time that I chose from the book was a time that speaks about the future prosperity of God's people. You see, I never know, mostly, I never really know what I come here to do when I start speaking to you every morning. Every top of the morning, I just come in, I'm like, what you gotta say, God? 20:02. And sometimes I might, you know, I might be nervous about all the energy that is flowing towards me, right? All the energy that is being thrown to me, right? All the energy that is moving through me, right? But all we got to do is cleanse and clear through light so that it can be used for our highest benefit. I'm here. Are you here? I enjoyed yesterday's work. That was really dope. The energy work. And, I should have addressed this in the beginning, but I'm sorry. I get carried away. Some guy on TikTok was like, "Yo, my sister, I would really, really love to hear what you want to say, but in this world that we live in, your videos are too long." And I'm like, "Well, I kind of came to challenge that narrative. Yeah, short attention span, yalifat. I want you to take your time with me, baby. This is not about instant gratification, but this is filling up this cup the right way. We're not horny for life, nor are we horny for results. Okay? We're not horny for approval. Yeah? We're not trying to get rich quick. This is not a scam. This is God's plan. So I'm gonna read it one more time and yeah, just get off here. We'll probably keep it at around 25 minutes if I'm allowed to. So let's do it. And hopefully I'll read it better this time because that was the first time gave Allah, I think. So I play around these books quite a lot. So let's go again. Then I can meditate and just get rid of all of this. Okay. Jeremiah 31:23. Okay, the future prosperity of God's people. The Lord Almighty, the God of Israel says, "When I restore the people to their land, they will once again say in the land of Judah and in its towns, may the Lord bless the sacred hill of Jerusalem, the holy place where he lives. People will live in Judah and in all its towns, and there will be farmers and shepherds with their flocks. I will refresh those who are weary, and I will satisfy with food everyone who is weak from hunger. So then people will say, I went to sleep and I woke up refreshed. I, the Lord, say that the time is coming when I will fill the land of Israel and Judah with people and animals. And just as I took care to uproot and pull it down, to overthrow, to destroy, and to demolish them, I will take care to plant them and build them up. When that time comes, people will no longer say, the parents ate the sour grapes, but the children got the sour taste. Instead, all those who eat sour grapes will have their own teeth set on edge, and they will die because of their own sin. The Lord says the time is coming when I make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. It will not be like the old covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand and led them out of Egypt. Although I was like a husband to them, they did not keep that covenant. The new covenant that I will make with the people of Israel will be this. Are you listening? The new covenant, okay? I will put my law within them and write it on their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people. None of them will have to teach his fellow citizen to know the Lord, because all will know me. Why? Because it's in your heart. From the least to the greatest, I will forgive their sins and I will no longer remember their wrongs. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord provides the sun for the light by day and the moon and the stars to shine at night. He stirs up the seas and makes it roar. His name is the Lord Almighty. He promises that as long as the natural order lasts, so long will be Israel as a nation. If one day the skies could be measured and the foundations of the earth explored, only then would he reject the people of Israel because of all they have done. The Lord has spoken. The time is coming, says the Lord, when all of Jerusalem will be rebuilt as my city, from Hananel Tower west to the corner gate, and the boundary line will continue thereon to the west, to the hill of Gareb, and then round to Goa. The entire valley, where the dead are buried and refuse is thrown, and all the fields above the brook of Kidron, as far as the horse gate to the east, will be sacred to me. Okay? The city will never again be torn down or destroyed. See, now the reason why I would say I might have seen this before is because I don't know if it's last week or if it's sometime this week. No, it can't be last week. I just started last week. It hasn't been that long. We spoke about Jeremiah buying a field, but I didn't read it, right? And then there was Jeremiah's prayer. And then there was another promise of hope at 33, Jeremiah 33. I'm back here again. And I did say that I might not be allowed to go off just as yet. So I'm sorry. Okay. So Jeremiah buys this field. Yeah. I got my first brick. It's right here. So now we got the land. Yeah. We've laid down the foundation. Yeah. I see you, Spirit. I see you, Spirit. I can officially say that I've been doing this for a week. Maybe 7 days. I can officially say that I've been within this energy of creation and motion and just trusting, right? The only scripted video I've had was the first one that I posted up most recently. I had to script that one because it was a dream. We gotta write that shit down. And I'm not very good at writing my dreams down. I just stay awake afterwards and I don't go back to sleep. Make sure that I keep relaying the message until I'm in the position to, start looking up shit. Trying to understand the higher plan. What's the point of getting a message if you're not going to use it, right? So, yeah. Don't mind me. They think I'm crazy. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm not doing this for them. And that's why it seems so foreign to them. Because it is not for them. You see, God spoke about a time where He will just write it in His people's hearts, right? You don't know what's in my heart. But it only takes someone with that print in their heart to recognize what it is that I'm doing, to know that they are a part of that tribe. Oh, babe, what are you talking about? Okay. You can try play that game. Try me. Try me. I'm not led by fear. The only fear I have is for God. I hope I've made that crystal clear. I'm not afraid of anything. I feel like the worst has already happened to me. And this is when I was unconscious of shit. But things got tougher when I was conscious. However, my skin was tougher. So was my punch. I was in the position to do mental real estate and being able to separate myself, where I began to recognize that this is somebody else's will. This is not God's plan. Because I no longer feel like I should be in agreement with man's plan. I don't just understand, but I understand who I am. I am that I am. Jeremiah buys a field. Jeremiah buys his land. I'm planting different types of seeds, and they're the shape of the mustard seed. So 31, I don't expect you to know, because I'm not asking you for it. I'm not. I don't need it from you. Y'all have already shown me that I can't rely on you. So now why would you expect me to trust you with my life like that? Y'all are sick. Sorry. I think my battery is dying. So maybe we should end it with Jeremiah's prayer. And when we end it with Jeremiah's prayer, I would like us to go into this day, into this weekend, just meditating on these words that I've given, or that He has given. Okay. Stay in constant prayer in your heart, where He has written to my children, right? 33:11 on the clock. Stay in constant meditation, constant prayer. Don't stop. Because the last thing you want to do is listen to self-talk that does not belong to you. You see, 33 on the clock. The Word of God has a certain standard, all right? There is a certain standard to the gist that you'll find in this good book, yeah. Now, if the things that you hear you saying about yourself do not meet this standard about who He says you are to Him, you got to turn that shit down and turn His voice up so that you may rise up, even when everything around you is just dragging you down. You need to be still and know that I'm God, yeah? So, meditate on Jeremiah's prayer, right? Jeremiah's buying a field. You are buying a field. Jeremiah is getting back his land. 34. You are also getting back your land. It's time to rebuild, right? What has been broken down. It is time to replace, that stolen crown. It is time to repossess what was never theirs to possess. in the first place. I'm not talking about war, I'm talking about peace. I'm talking about a time where everything will be coming to you with ease. I'm talking about a time where you are also able to release the things that no longer serve you. That's what I'm talking about. I love sitting here with you, and I look forward to doing this more every single day for the next 6 months, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, but 6 months to build a lifestyle. And this is my lifestyle. This is who I remember myself as. This is me living in my truth. This is me doing what I want to do. You see, I've done what I had to do. But I only did that so that I can do what I want to do. And it's you. It's this. Right here. So, Jeremiah's prayer, then we out. I'm sorry. Okay. After I'd given the deed of purchase to Baruch, I prayed. Sovereign Lord, you made the earth and the sky by your great power and might. Nothing is too difficult for you. You have shown constant love to thousands, but you also punish people for the sins of their parents. You are a great and powerful God. You are the Lord Almighty. You make wise plans and do mighty things. You see everything that people do, and you reward them according to their actions. Long ago, you performed miracles and wonders in Egypt, and you have continued to perform them to this day, both in Israel and among all the other nations, so that you are now known everywhere. By means of miracles and wonders that terrified our enemies, you used your power and might to bring the people Israel out of to bring your people Israel out of Egypt. You gave them this rich and fertile land as you had promised their ancestors. But when they came into this land and took possession of it, they did not obey your commands or live according to your teaching. They did nothing that you had ordered them to do. And so you brought all this destruction on them. The Babylonians have built siege mounds round the city to capture it, and they are attacking. War, starvation, and disease will make the city fall into their hands, right? You can see that all you have said has come true. Yet, sovereign Lord, you are the one who ordered me to buy the field in the presence of the witnesses, even though the city is about to be captured by the Babylonians, right? Then the Lord said to me, I am the Lord, the God of the whole human race. Nothing is too difficult for me. I'm going to give this city over to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia and his army. They will capture it and set it on fire. They will burn it down together with the houses where people have made me angry by burning incense to Baal on the rooftops and by pouring out wine offerings to other gods. From the very beginning of their history, the people of Israel and the people of Judah have displeased me and made me angry by what they've done. The people of this city have made me angry and furious from the day it was built. I have decided to destroy it because of all the evil that has been done by the people of Judah, and Jerusalem. Together with their kings and leaders, their priests and prophets, they turned their backs on me. And though I kept on teaching them, they would not listen and learn. Oh my God. They even placed their disgusting idols in the temple built for my worship, and they defiled it. They have built altars to Baal in the valley of Hinnom to sacrifice their sons and daughters to the god of Molech. I did not command them to do this, and it did not even enter my mind that they would do such a thing and make the people of Judah sin. And the promise of hope. The Lord, the God of Israel, said to me, Jeremiah, the people are saying that war, starvation, and disease will make the city fall into the hands of the king of Babylonia. Now listen to what else I have to say. Now I'm going to gather the people from all the countries where I have scattered them in my anger and fury, and I'm going to bring them back to this place and let them live here in safety. Then they will be my people, and I will be their God. I will give them a single purpose in life, to honor me for all time, for all their own good and the good of their descendants. I will make an eternal covenant with them. I will never stop doing good things for them, and I will make them fear me with all their heart, so that they will never turn away from me again. I will take pleasure in doing good things for them, and I will establish them permanently in this land. Just as I have brought this disaster on these people, so am I going to give them all the good things that I've promised. The people are saying that this land will be like a desert where neither people or animals will live, and that it will be given over to the Babylonians, but fields will once again be bought in this land. People will buy them, and the deeds will be signed, sealed, and witnessed. This will take place in the territory of Benjamin, in the villages around Jerusalem, in the towns of Judah, and in the towns in the hill country, in the foothills, and in the southern Judah. Yeah? I will restore the people to their land. I, the Lord, have spoken. Is there another promise of hope in Jeremiah 33? Let's be abundant. Just one more. Or another promise. Let's drag it a little bit. I want more. While I was in prison, in the courtyard, the Lord's message came to me again. The Lord who made the earth, who formed it and set it in place, spoke to me. He whose name is the Lord said, call to me, and I will answer you. I will tell you wonderful and marvelous things that you know nothing about. I, the Lord, the God of Israel, say that the houses of Jerusalem and the royal palace of Judah will be torn down as a result of the siege and the attack. Some will fight against the Babylonians, who will fill the houses with corpses of those whom I'm going to strike down in my anger and fury. I've turned away from the city because of the evil things that its people have done. But I will heal the city and its people and restore them to health. I will show them abundant peace and security. I will make Judah and Israel prosperous. I will make Judah and Israel prosperous, and I will rebuild them as they were before. I will purify them from their sins that they committed against me, and I'll forgive their sins and their rebellion. Jerusalem will be a source of joy, honor, and pride to me, and every nation in the world will fear and tremble when they hear about the good things that I do for the people of Jerusalem and about the prosperity that I bring to the city. The Lord said, people are saying that this place is like a desert and it has no people or animals living in it. And they're right. The towns of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem are empty. Yeah, no people or animals live there. But in these places, you will hear again the shouts of gladness and joy, the sounds of wedding feasts. Yeah, you will hear people sing as they bring thank offerings to my temples, and they will say, give thanks to the Lord Almighty, because He is good. His love is eternal. I will make this land as prosperous as it was before. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord Almighty said, in this land that is like a desert, where no people or animals live, there will once again be pastures where shepherds can take their sheep. In the towns of the hill country, in the foothills, and in southern Judah, in the territory of Benjamin, in the villages round Jerusalem, and in the towns of Judah, shepherds will once again count their sheep. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord said, the time is coming when I will fulfill the promise that I made to the people of Israel and Judah. At the time I will choose as a king, as a righteous descendant of David. At that time I will choose as a king, righteous descendant of David. That king will do what is right and just throughout the land. Justice. The people of Judah and Jerusalem will be rescued and will live in safety. The city will be called the Lord our salvation. I, the Lord, promise that there will always be a descendant of David to be king of Israel. And that there will always be priests from the tribe of Levi to serve me and to offer burnt offerings, grain offerings and sacrifices. Yeah.
The Lord said to me, I've made a covenant with the day and with the night, so that they will always come at their proper times, and that the covenant can never be broken. In the same way, I've made a covenant with my servant David, that he will always have a descendant to be king. And I've made a covenant with the priests from the tribe of Levi, that they would always serve me. And and those covenants can never be broken, yeah? I will increase the number of descendants of my servant David and the number of priests from the tribe of Levi, so that it will be impossible to count them, as it is to count the stars in the sky, or the grains of the sand on the seashore. The Lord said to me, have you noticed how people are saying that I've rejected Israel and Judah, the two families that I chose? And so they look with contempt on my people and no longer consider them a nation. But I, the Lord, have a covenant with the day and the night, and I've made the laws that control the earth and the sky. And just as I surely have done this, so I will maintain my covenant with Jacob's descendants and with my servant David. I will choose one of David's descendants to rule over the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will be merciful to my people and make them prosperous again. Enough said. Enough said. I bless everyone. I hope that you guys have a great one. I hope that you be great on this one. Peace. Positive energy always creates elevation.